to Bad Larry.
Okay, let's go. Boom! What's up, everybody? Bad Larry here, and today's episode is a mashup. We are kicking off X-MANHUNT Parts 1, 2, and 3, coming to you in the UNCANNY X-Men number 11, NYX number 9, and STORM number 6. Listen, I have seen these tie-ins 100 times. It's a money grab for Marvel to bolster sales for underperforming books, which is why I'm cutting up these 3 issues and giving you the essentials. For Uncanny X-Men 11, listen, I'm no big Gail Simone fan, which is why we don't cover every Uncanny X-Men issue on this channel, but the art on the cover of this is okay. I rated this cover 70% because, come on, it's a bunch of screaming heads. It's a C- at best, and y'all know it. This issue sets the why for this miniseries. X-Manhunt will focus on Professor X escaping from Grey Malkin prison. So in this episode, we'll focus on him, what is driving him, and following his journey through these 3 books. It all starts in the Shiar Empire. There's a revolution occurring in Shiar. Revolutionaries are taking out palace guards left, right, and center. However, when they get to the throne room, one badass Shiar mutant warrior remains, Deathbird, the sister of Lilandra, and someone not to be trifled with. I'll be honest, I never knew Deathbird was a Shiar mutant. Interesting. We jump to Grey Malkin prison holding Professor X. Trust me, the 2 events are linked. You'll see in a second. Professor X is being monitored and he's having an emotional crisis. Something is wrong with him. He's crying like a little baby. And then alakablam, he's having a heart attack. Warden Ellis, or Dr. Ellis, if you're nasty, the well-melanated lady in charge of the prison, demands answers. What's going on with Professor X? Old boy with the mustache says his brain is overheating, which is true. Professor X has a huge brain tumor, messing with his powers and his mind and body as well, because he has sent his mind light years away to the Shiar Empire. The prison is about to sedate Professor X. He pleads for them to wait. He is connected to his daughter, Xandra, the princess of Shiar Empire. Pretty cool, taking Lilandra, adding the X to the front to merge the 2 names. Wow, I never knew Professor X had a daughter. Anywho, Professor X is connected to her, and he sees the revolutionaries are swarming her, but the sedatives kick in and he passes out. When someone is hell-bent on something, they make bad decisions in order to get what they want. Here is a bad decision. Professor X's body is sedated, so he sends a message to the scariest creature in the darn prison, Sarah Gaunt, to come help him free so he can go to his daughter. Well, Sarah still hates Professor X but helps free him anyway. Why? I don't know. Because of his tumor, Professor X sees the current Uncanny X-Men as his original X-Men team. Now he somehow has telekinetic powers as well and starts pushing the Uncanny X-Men around, calling them imposters. The Uncanny X-Men put up a meager fight. You can tell they feel that they're pulling their punches because it's Professor X, man. The guy that everything was built around and who makes everyone who they are, essentially, at this point. It's like trying to fight your dad. Well, Daddy X put that belt to ass and is officially a wanted man on the run. And where is he heading? New York City. NYX number 9, part 2 of 7. This is the X book I'm probably the least interested or excited about, but here we are, sucked in by the tie-ins. So, like I said, let's follow Professor X's journey and cut the fluff. Oh, I gave this cover an 80%. I like the way they did Professor X's eyes on this cover, and I'll just let you know, Professor X is pretty dastardly in this issue. We see the law ain't playing. They want Professor X alive or dead. Charles rocks up to the NYX crew along with some Morlocks and is immediately asked to GTFO. Charles's current mission is retrieving the remaining seed of Krakoa, which Dr. Doom seems to be in control of. Why does he want this seed? We'll find out here shortly. David, aka Prodigy, refuses to help Charles get the seed and tells him to go get it himself. But out of pity or some sense of duty, Anole, the big green dude with the one big arm, why does he have just the one big arm? I don't know. Anyway, him and Kamala Khan decide they will help Professor X and go through the tunnels, whooping up some Doombots. This pose by Professor X, come on, he looks like he's doing some interpretive dance at the local community college. The baddie of this issue and NYX's main foe right now is Mojo, and he gets in Professor X's head, and then all of a sudden, Professor X abandons his mission and sends Kamala and Enole away, seemingly as a sacrifice. I told you, he's devious in this issue. Professor X just let Enole get stabbed by Mojo, and Kamala is wrapped up. He uses them as a distraction in order to take control of these here Doombots in order to get past this vault door. Enole is dying and Kamala looks cooked. She's crying out for Professor X's help. This issue is really making me not like Professor X. Charles gets inside the vault. He's about to retrieve his little seed, and it appears Kamala and Enole will make it out just fine, or they're going to be fine. So maybe him picking these two to sacrifice, he knew they would be all right anyway, so it wasn't that dastardly a plan after all. Charles doesn't care anymore about mutant kind. He only cares about his daughter Xandra. And I guess he'll try to use this last Krakoan seed to bring her back to life. I mean, we are all assuming the revolutionaries killed her, right? But wait, Enole looks like he has the seed. Who has the real seed? I bet it's Enole and not Professor X. And Professor X bounces with his little bag with probably the fake seed in it, and he heads off to Atlanta to go visit Storm. Now, what does he want with her? I mean, Marvel wants you to know what he wants to do with her, but that's in order to sell another Storm book, which I doubt is doing very well, just my opinion. The cover on this issue of Storm number 6 is just great. I gave it a 96 or 95%. It is beautiful. It's cool. What's not to like? And this is part 3 of 7 of X-MANHUNT. And just as an FYI, Storm is now the avatar for, quote, eternity, which is basically God. Just like Juggernaut is the avatar for Sidorak, but basically Storm is super OP now, which in my opinion is kind of lame. They already did this with Jean Grey and the Phoenix. Phoenix has a comic book out right now, but whatever, here we are. Everybody's an avatar of somebody now getting extra superpowers, as long as you're a female. Storm is gearing up for a battle. She knows the X-Men, will be coming for her and Professor X. But before that, let's check out the conversation between the two of them. Storm makes Professor X his last meal, saying people who are wanted like he is usually don't make it out alive. She's all high and mighty, saying she's now an Avenger. She can't help him because she'll lose her privileges, yada, yada, yada. And Charles says, that's not really her. At the core, Storm does what she wants to do, she doesn't follow all these rules and laws. Basically, you can't change a leopard's spots. And it's like an existential question. You can be in different situations. You can be part of different organizations. You could try to improve yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, and all of that. But at the core, the essence of who you are, can you really change that? The writers decided to dust Maggot off the shelf. So he's now staying with Storm for the time being. Why? I don't know. Because they can, I guess. And they await the arrival of their enemies, the X-Men. We have seen this battle countless times. Storm versus Cyclops. They love showing the strong black woman beating down on the white man. The embodiment of the patriarchy, Cyclops. I've seen it once, I've seen it 1,000 times. These people won't allow Cyclops, a white man, to beat Storm, the Black Queen of all mutant kind. The X-Men actually put up a real good fight. Cyclops actually stood pretty tough against the overly powered, super powered, extra powered, universally God powered Storm. She's OP. She has God powers and shuts the X-Men down so much they have to teleport out of there. Storm froze up Cyclops' head, and now Temper needs to thaw him out. Like I said, I've seen it 1,000 times. But even with God powers, the cosmic entities seem to always forget. You never mess with the X-Men. Never count them out. Professor X is now in the former home of the X-Men, Utopia, and Beast is there. How did Beast get there? Anyway, Professor X orders Beast to destroy the Storm engine. Maybe this is what is powering Storm to OP levels. Well, the journey continues in part 4 with X-Men number 13 coming out real soon. Let me know what you think of this miniseries and what X-Books is your favorite right now. Hit that like button. See you next time. Peace.